1, 2, 3, 4, go. I make my living off the evening news, expat vloggers, and living in the Philippines. Just give me something I can use. People love it when you lose. They love dirty laundry. Well, I could have been on radio, but I wound up YouTube here. I just have to edit well and search all day. Send me an email or call, come and whisper in my ear. Give us dirty laundry. Kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down. Kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down. Doesn't matter what island you're on. The Philippines should have been heaven, but you ended up on my page. Should have stayed off YouTube and just play on the beach instead. We got the age gap couple, the odd couple, broke expats who comes on at 5. They can tell you about how they loves it with a gleam in their eyes. It's interesting when people lie. Give us dirty laundry. Can we film the operation? Is political or not? You know the boys in the newsroom got a running bet. Get the widow on the set. We need dirty laundry.
Oh, that was an end well, by the way. The one that you like. Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning.
Or good evening. Some of you.
Yeah, good evening. What's up? What's up? And that's what I was just talking about. So let's start talking about complaint number 1. I was just asking you during the intro, was you ready? Evidently you weren't ready.
No, it's not that. I'm
Are you-
thinking.
Okay, well,
I still am.
okay.
That's all.
You adjusted?
Mhm.
Yeah, why don't you take yourself, you've been sitting in the same position. Adjust yourself there, George.
Well, it's not the same because
Okay.
they used to be 3. Variables.
You had time to adjust those variables for the last 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah, but I'm slowly sliding.
Okay.
Not like it's instantaneous. If it was, then obviously I would have adjusted much sooner.
Yeah. You're on the dark side, so why don't we...
Yeah, because you don't like the lights.
Didn't say not to light the lights. You didn't have to set up 2 lights.
Okay. How about like freaking light there?
Okay, well then...
I mean, you're the. Oh my god, you're the one who basically don't want the lights on. Now you're questioning it on live. In fact, it was right there, and you took it away.
I guess I have the problem because your glasses are dark and your hat these days is this far down. I can't see your
No,
face.
it's always been dark, but you took away the light.
The light's in the corner.
Where?
That corner.
Yeah, wrong corner. It's right there.
Wrong.
Where it's supposed to be. What are you talking about? And then you pick while like on the live, and guess what? We've always had this issue. I just don't say anything because you're the one who don't want the lights. So I stopped.
Let's okay. I'm not even gonna
Heidi, the
go
fact that
there.
again I stopped mentioning the lights, I always used to mention the lights, and we have this exact same conversation. This is not new. I always tell you that. Each time we have an argument, I always say, you do realize this is not new. And I'm telling you again, you do realize this isn't new. We've always had this argument about the lights. Anyway. In case you didn't notice.
Okay. All right. So it looks like George just doesn't feel good. So I guess that's why all the actual silence. So this ought to be interesting because look who when he doesn't feel good, how this actually goes. When I don't feel good, then I'm actually um, cranky too. So I guess that is what's going on. Go through this. I'm just going to tell you guys today. Basically, we're just going to talk about frustrated expats. Could be frustrated Filipinos too. The big and small things that drive people crazy. And we have a couple instances of a guy that goes off on coffee situation and he complains about being overcharged for coffee, and then a situation on a street vendor selling crabs with like out in the heat and stuff, and how he's concerned about that. And you won't be able to change the Philippines. And then it looks like I got the Trashman scam. George has his own opinion on that, and I have mine on that. But in the end, the guy just ripped me off. So, in my opinion, it's, he's just going to be the last time for sure. So, but there's a lot to go in there and discuss. So, what did he say? Lovesick.
Joe Riley is finally catching your live. Hey, Tony. Hello, everyone. What's up? Gonna
What's
be happy.
going
Thumbs up. Thank you so
on?
much. Gonna be happy says Heidi got scammed. What?
Right.
Everybody plays the fool. No exception to the rule. There you go. Everybody plays the fool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah. Hello, Heidi and George. Hello, roomies. Hey, Harry. How you doing, man?
Hey, Harry.
Hey, Heidi, George, Scott, Ted, Sarah, and all you fanatics from the cold 20 degrees in New York. Hey, Racer X, how you doing? Racer X.
Hey,
Hi, Heidi and
Racer.
George, South Carolina in the house. Hi, peeps. Earn Doggy Fool. What's up, people? Hey, Discerning Dash, you guys got the best intros. It's not always the same. It's great. Really enjoy the kitty. It was loose. I think that'll always be a classic.
Hey, Ted, what's going on? Yeah, too early for trolls. Most of those trolls are just jealous of the channel. Somebody in there already ramming about us not gaining traction because of our type of channel.
Which
It's
is the
like,
opposite if you think about it.
that we don't give a rat's ass. I mean, we're the only goddamn
Well,
channel
here's
that
the
went to
thing. I mean,
Google.
I'm not trying
Whether
to put light on these trolls. The fact that in all honesty, in all probability, that person who said that has a YouTube channel and they
fake
don't
channel, yeah,
have traction.
they could have traction and be the Filipino P and still suck out the ass. That means they just don't have no life whatsoever. Just because someone has that, you can always buy damn numbers, period. You can pay to play all you want on YouTube, 100%. You can pay for all the advertisements, farms, and everything else, or just flat out put yourself out there for simping for cash. I know she's chewing on her toy, but the whole point is that basically we do it for free, and so I think that's what bothers people. It doesn't matter what kind of money we make on this, so still going to do it. So I'm not going to stop. If I got a problem with George, I'm going to sit here and have it out with him this morning. The same with him. He's got issues, doesn't feel good, whatever's going on. We do these live streams no matter what. So short of him working and doing other things, we're just going to keep doing us. And it's just like they would say about us talking about other vloggers, just jealousy. So, hey, Ryan and Chew, been a while. What's going on?
You guys just ain't right. Hold on. I lost my spot. Jose Rodriguez. Good day, people. Angelo
Good.
says, I think he meant magandang umaga. Good morning, I think, because it says umaga, which means morning. I guess that's possible. Morning, and then some people just say morning. Always me.
What is going on?
Yeah, I always had a friend. He always says, top of the morning. No, really, he does always say that. Top of the morning. K Dallas, good morning. Hey, K Dallas.
Yes, we got our Colombian coffee, and
Racer
I made
X. Yep.
little homemade little jelly balls in here. Like sucking on it all morning, like I was sucking on little jelly balls.
Heidi made me some coffee with jello.
Jelly balls.
Coffee jelly. I think that's what they call it.
Well, they're usually in bigger cubes, but these are more. I made little tiny ones.
No, she made them. This is all Heidi made, except for the.
It's milk. I mean, everything's.
Yeah, I mean Heidi makes her own cheese now. No, I'm not joking. She makes her own cheese. It's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's not on this coffee. It's a separate subject. But yes, that didn't sound right now that I think about it.
George makes his own cheese.
No, my cheese, yeah, is special with a special serving too.
Mm-mm.
Just so you guys know. Now, how you
Shut up! No, I'm gonna cut you off right now. I shouldn't even got you going.
I can't talk
Look,
about
now
ick
he's
cheese.
woke up.
I said ick.
You got ear mushrooms too, but we don't talk about those.
What? It's me, Tense. How are you guys? You're doing great.
Hey, what's going on?
Ted says it's too early for trolls. Always me.
That's just showing the type of you got to understand. Like on live or on StreamYard, it breaks it down.
It doesn't show
Fish,
the
orange. It gives you more of the code. Is what's in there. It's code.
Yeah. Earn Doggy Fool says nice orange mic. Tarzan says lovesick.
Yeah, who knows? But that milk probably isn't going to help you because I'm sure that milk will go through you also.
Angelo says fight night already. Seen one outside. What? What do you mean seen one outside?
Right.
Earn Doggy Fool says looks like orange push-up ice cream.
It does look like the orange
pop. Oh, it does. It does.
They're like the
pop-ups. Yeah,
creamsicle
pop-ups
thing. Yeah.
Victor C. Hi, George. We miss you. Hi there. Hey, Victor. How you doing, man? Thank you so much.
He was
hit
burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, hit that like button, guys.
So I told him spread it out, and I'll do a live stream or two in between and cover it. So
Oh, dang. Tarzan says, poor Americans feeling entitled in the Philippines. Damn Bama. Lol. Actually, now that Tarzan mentioned, want to get into it?
well, poor Americans feeling entitled in
Yeah,
the
it's basically what
Philippines.
you were talking
Well,
about. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of an off to say that we feel entitled. That's not everybody. Just like saying all Filipinas are bar girls and scammers and just every. No, not Americans. Not all Americans feel entitled. But like what I've been saying since I've been here, there's a difference in me just feeling entitled and then people walking on me. So, for the most part, my experience here in the Philippines has been good. It may seem like I'm complaining all the time, but it's what I'm doing on air. All the other time I'm off air, I'm just living everyday life here. And then somebody goes and gives me content. So let's start with what happened to me. And me and George have had a difference of opinion in wording, and in the end, it is my fault. But it's another one of those Trashman situations again. So you guys all know that we had our trash cans on the inside of the gate, and being as the trash guys come at different times, we then officially put it out because we would be in a live stream or something. And how long ago did we switch the trash man? About a year ago, 8 months ago?
It's been a while.
Okay, so I would probably say about 6, 7 months ago.
Yeah, it's almost a year.
And been 9 months?
No, actually, honestly, I think it's been a year because
Okay, it's
I
been a
think
year. I think I said a year the first time.
Yeah, no, I know that. No, I know it's been no.
So anyways, we got a new trash guy because the other one just
Relatively
quit.
new,
And
yeah.
and depending on where you're at, like depending on what part of the Philippines this may happen to you, it may not. If you're in certain subdivisions, they usually have some sort of trash service. It could just be from regular trash people that come through, but
It varies. Like
it varies everywhere.
well, like there's subdivisions where it's included in the HOA, and some subdivisions
Is
it's
that
not
the family home does the same thing? It's included.
in HOA. Yeah.
Okay. So this is supposed to be a subdivision, and I'm assuming that there are no fees or
No,
whatever.
well, no. I mean, it's what I'm saying. Okay, everything's different. For example, in that subdivision, no scavenger guys are
Right,
because the HOA is the one that collects it.
right. So,
But what I'm saying is the reason why they collect it is because they make money off of it because it's salvage.
right. So now they're not supposed to in here, but they all still come in here anyways.
Yeah,
So,
no, I mean, there's a lot of different rules.
so it's kind of like we're at like a balance of keeping our trash cans locked on the outside. That way, when the trash man comes through, but then with it being on the outside, like a lot of people's trash, the trash guys now go through and salvage and go through the trash. And sometimes it's probably 3 times a day at least. And so the dog goes off barking, makes it hard for us to record, or with George working or the things we're doing, it can get really loud. But I got used to that. I know I used to complain about that. Well, it turns out that soon as I was done with the live stream, you guys heard like the last live stream, I popped off there. George was still asleep, and I got the packages from the delivery driver. And there was a guy that was going through the trash. And I'm like, okay, that maybe this is the trash man's assistant. I've got like all kinds of feelings about this. I was like, the way that he was doing it was like he was one, I thought it was his brother. Like our trash guy has a brother and some other people that works with them. What?
Go.
Anyways, so I'm like, it's not it. I said, he started to put his hand out, and I was like, all right, it's not time to pay. So that much I knew it was not time to pay again. And at first it just looked like because I rewatched, I got to let you know that it is on camera. And so when I rewatched it to tell you guys in advance, I could see that the guy came over when he seen the delivery. I had not went outside. It looks like he was just scavenging. So we had an extra yellow bag outside because we keep boxes for like appliances and items that we buy. And so there was a bag of that out there, and there were some extra like dog blankets we weren't using anymore that had been used up. And so there was an extra bag out there. And when I watched the video, it looked like he was just going through that bag only. And I thought, okay, that's what he was out there for. But soon as he seen me, he started putting his hand out. And I'm like, but are you our trash guy? I said, you don't. And I actually told myself that, like, I was sure that he wasn't. And I'm like, that's not our trash guy. I said, we already paid. I said, we're, we have a regular trash guy. And then I kept saying, are you going to take the trash? Like, you can pay people to do the service. And he kept shaking his head. Yes. I even used the translator. In the end, I went back in thinking that, hey, he's not our trash guy. And then he started banging on the gate. And he was like, he took a rock and he was banging at the gate. And I'm like, wait a minute. He took all the trash out of the trash can. And that's what made me really think he was our trash man. And so he was gathering it up and then he wanted to be paid. And I said, okay, are you going to take the trash? So even when I was at the point that I didn't think it was our trash man, I thought, okay, we had extra trash because of the boxes and cleaning and all this extra stuff. So I'm like, okay, how much? He said 200 pesos. And that's a monthly service fee that we actually give our regular person. What do you think of the 200 pesos to take away the bag of trash?
Well, first off, that's already exorbitant. No, no, no. I mean, I'm just telling you as far as regular rates go, that's already exorbitant. But, however, be aware that the quality of trash pickup we had then and now are two different things. What I'm saying is, Ningas Kugon, which means they had great enthusiasm, great service at the start, and then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, our current trash guy picks up the first 2 weeks of the month, and the last two, he comes like 1 day in 2 weeks or something, maybe 2 days in 2 weeks. And I get that it's not the US and the entitled thing goes through your head, and we do tip him well. So he just doesn't get that amount. Usually we give him several hundred pesos. And at Christmas time, we did stuff, but the last part of the month he doesn't. It's like I get super like desperate. George sees me. I'm like, he's not coming. Like he hasn't been here in 10 days. And I'm like, that's getting ridiculous. And of course, so anyways, let me get back to the story. So then the guy said 200. And so I went in and I started waking George up. I said, George, this guy is wanting me to pay him and he's not really our trash guy. I said, but we need this stuff taken away. I said, I'm just going to give him the money. So George said, just give it to him. So I had to wake George up. So at this point, we're both frustrated. And then okay. And so then I went out and paid him. In the end, he didn't take the bags away. He took one of the bags, which probably was the scrap of the plastic bottles. And he left the other stuff out there, which the dogs came through that night and ripped up all over the place. So he took the trash out of our trash can, left it out there for stray animals to go through, and took the scrapping plastic off and took the money. So okay. Okay, so what we're having it out with is at this point, he told me, okay, George and me are going back and forth, and he's telling me that he said don't pay him. So then I misunderstood him. Sorry, I misunderstood you while you were asleep. I thought you said to pay him. That's my fault. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that's what you said. So sorry. I thought you said to pay him. So he's telling me he said not to pay him. Sorry, that's what this is about. So there you have it. So, I mean, it's extremely frustrating because then I had to go out the next day and pick up all the trash on the ground that the dogs ripped up. And I don't know why I thought that he was going to come back and get it. And we haven't seen our trash man. So it was something that simple that became that frustrating that quick. So I still baffled that it was just, that's just where I am on that one. So what do you think?
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Is does the garbage man send other people to do his work? Yes, of course, that happens all the time. However, you never pay anybody else but the actual person that actually does your service. Period. I don't care if it's brother, his mom, his dad, his grandpa. I don't care if his grandpa came out of the freaking grave and then got up and got resurrected to pick up the money. No, you only pay the guy you hired.
Okay, well, it was extremely frustrating because I thought it was someone additional and I needed the trash taken away. So at my point, the reason I did is I thought, okay, let me get rid of the trash just here because the guy has not been here. I'm going to
I
say
get
it's
that,
been
but
8 days.
okay, service and collection are two different things. I would say, I would flat out say, I don't know you.
I did. He kept doing this. I even used a
Okay,
translator and he didn't
well, it
answer.
doesn't matter
I
whether
did
you
all
use a
the above.
translator or not.
Okay,
Because
then.
guess what? They pull the same stunt on Filipinos too.
Well, yeah, I'm not doubting that. Foreign probably had nothing to do with it.
No, they don't. Doesn't.
Yeah. So it kind of sucked out the Yingus because then he left the trash behind on top of all of that. So what?
Nothing.
Okay, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. I'll.
You have that clip.
I know that. Would you like me to do that too? This is like most. I mean, would you like me?
All you have to do is say something.
I shouldn't have to ask you.
Heidi, guys and women, especially women, and I'm not picking on women. Most women assume that
I
that
don't have to
that the
assume. You're
male
just not.
partner
No, you're
can
just
read
not
your mind.
participating here. No, it has nothing
Participation
to
has
do with
Heidi,
nothing.
just leave me alone. What is wrong with you? I'm not arguing with you. I haven't been. You're the one who said, "Oh, you go ahead, Pam." No, I never said that. I would never ever say that.
And I just took it back. Get the hell over it. You're going to talk about that the rest of the day? You're the one that's been busting my ass ever since that happened. Like it was my problem. You actually said I'm at fault. No, I did not. I'm at fault for paying him.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not the one that did
It
the whole
doesn't
thing.
matter. Should, again, what you should have done and what you should know is a should thing.
Being present would have probably solved quite a bit.
That's a different story entirely.
Sure is,
Heidi,
isn't it?
the point is, you just leave me alone. I'm not doing anything wrong. Anybody can see that. I'm just sitting here, chill.
Yeah, you're just chill so much you won't even move the mouse. That's how chill you are. You're so chill that
Heidi, you're
just
talking.
chill.
I'm not sure if you're done. It's your story.
We're on one topic. I just did that. Usually go through the comments. Would you like me to just direct silently, mute again, point to something? I don't.
Heidi, and that's another thing. It's right here. I mean, you can do it too.
Exactly.
But I even said, there's the clip. I said it nicely. So anyway, there's a stand right here, right? Or not necessarily this exact stand. But anyway, you get to go to this common thing that you see. You go to the wet market. Okay, but at least in a wet market, at least it's somewhat more appropriate. But there's a lot of times, like randomly, for example, like me and Heidi were driving around, and she's like, "Those are strawberries." Okay, let me put this down real quick. Those are strawberries. We drove past a strawberry stand on the side of the road. It's on MacArthur Highway. Okay, major highway. And Heidi goes like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, they're 50 pesos per tray, the strawberries." And Heidi goes like, "You knew about it? Why didn't you tell me about it?" Well, first off, they're in a bad location. They're in a very high profile location where you can see them, right? And you can't. It's like you're driving by. Oh, 50 pesos for a tray of strawberries. Great deal. No, it really is. It's a great deal. Now, here's the problem. They're literally on the side of the road of MacArthur Highway and the busiest part of MacArthur Highway in this area. They're in front of the Clark area, MacArthur Highway area, which, bottom line, what are you going to do? Stop your your car at the highway to purchase in the most busiest part of the highway? It was just, what I'm getting at is Filipinos don't care where they put up these stands. That's my
Or
point
how
here.
they put them up.
Or how they put
Or
them.
when
Correct.
they sell meat, how they sell
Correct.
meat,
And
whether
that's what
it's
I was getting at. Exactly. So what I was saying is, again, is that you'll see a bunch of stands randomly in places where, again, like for example, that I'm like, I drive by that place almost every day, and it's
so the expat actually was saying don't buy oysters. He says he's warning the people now. Which, by the way, he's saying it's by Clarkton, and also he had a complaint about Clarkton, and then later he had a complaint about, I think it was T-Backs or something, or I'll have to find out. But he's made like 3 complaints as an expat here recently. I think he's been here quite some time. But he said he told the dude that watch how you're doing that, that it's going to end somebody's life. It's going to be an unaliving. So it's so there was a lot of people that had a lot of comments in regards to that Filipinos have been doing this forever.
go ahead.
No,
Why?
no, I just said what. So just trying to figure out what you're. So a lot of people had their opinion about this. Basically, you can't change the culture. You can't change the people. You just can't do a lot of shit as an expat, period. It'd be like, I guess, if you guys were expat in the United States or somewhere else, be the same thing. All you can do is fit in, I guess.
Well, think about it this way. You guys ever
Or you just
watch?
don't eat the shit.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, you guys ever watch TikTok? Right? I know a lot of you guys do watch TikTok. Um, you guys ever watch those TikTok things where the Indians, aka the actual not American Indians, the people from India, where they eat the food off the floor, that kind of deal, and they use their hands to scoop up the food and serve it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, most of you do anyway. So what I'm saying is, it's no different than you going to India and then you go to one of those stands where they scoop up the food and then you start yelling at them, "Hey, use a spoon, or use a ladle instead of using your hand." You know what I'm saying? Hey, get a plate instead of putting it on the floor. That kind of deal. I mean, I get it. I get the mentality where this is what you think should be, but that's their culture, and you're in their country, so therefore you're in their culture, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying I agree with that behavior because again, it seems unsanitary. You know what I'm saying? However, even I have to respect that their culture, that's what they do. You know, kind of like
Yeah,
something
you're not going to
simple.
change it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just don't do it. I mean, I feel the trash is a lot different. I mean, that's the one thing. I mean, I've gotten over the kids screaming out front, the karaokeing, the loud dogs, the noise, things like that. But the trash for me is absolutely
Well,
necessary. And then I was actually at a desperate point. That's
that's
where
not
I was.
cultural. That's somebody was just
Well, no,
taking
I know
advantage
that.
of a foreigner.
I mean, it was just frustrating for me because I really needed the trash. So, but in a case like this, you just don't get them from there. You just pass over. I mean, you could be like, okay, no way, and then pass over. But
Yeah.
understand a lot of people actually use it. But it wouldn't be for me to walk up and say, hey, you're going to kill somebody, close that stand up. Or I'll tell you what, foreigners take it one step further. They'll go to the police station and try to report stuff like that, or they
Oh,
try to go. I
the
mean,
police won't do
talk.
anything
I mean,
anyway.
the
But
entitlement, and it's just not Americans, by the way, guys. I get so damn tired of hearing it's only Americans that like the British and Canadians and all these other are more uppity up than anybody else. No, it's foreigners, period. So it could be somebody from India, it could be somebody Chinese that's upset about it. It's all foreigners. So all this stuff, just like when they blame races of women, it's the American women of this, and that. No, the Australians talk the same about their women, and then the British talk about their women back. Women are women everywhere, guys. It just happens to be they're more friendly here and more easy. And so it's they're easier to get along with, easy to afford, the whole nine yards. That's the big difference, guys. And so there was a lot of people that made comments like this person says, yeah, if you eat there, you're playing Russian roulette. Always buy your seafood from the Pampanga market. But you even got to watch going there because that will eventually set out after a while. If you're not there at what, 6 in the morning or something,
6:30
and
at
you're
the
showing
latest.
up at 10 or 11 when the heat's been
Yeah.
on, yeah, if you guys have a weak stomach, that could become a problem. Looks like a Filipino actually came in and said, yeah, so what's the problem? It's stuff that's been going on here forever. Of course, another expat, beware, at your own risk. And it says, well, foreigners would never buy that kind of food from something like that, anyways. And the locals, they do that. They're used to it since birth, that they have a strong stomach. And basically, they tell them to go somewhere else. So basically, it's just saying, don't be so ignorant, like over and over again. Pretty much the consensus is, hey, it's just the way that it is, that they sell it like that. You can wonder how and why they would do it, but you're not going to be able to change something like that. So there's people in here that say, yeah, that's disgusting. And they kind of go back and forth. But for the consensus, even the foreigners that have been here, that aren't just what we call couch warriors, that aren't even in the country. They're usually those that are making these comments are usually outside of the country. Some have never even been here. And so you would have to be here to know that it's quite, normal. Just wouldn't do it. So the same guy, so this guy had a pattern. The same guy was talking about Clarkton. So he must have been hanging out at the Clarkton. That was the Clarkton that went by. He's saying he also got overcharged for coffee, and I'm sure some people might be familiar with this story if they're on that forum. That he went in talking about. Let me see if I can find the coffee one. Da, 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 da. Mannequin is what his alleged name is, and I just have to mention because I think it's hilarious. There it is. The Clarkton was caught charging me 230 pesos for the coffee, and they overcharged me. So he was complaining that he was overcharged for the coffee. And this also set off about 100 people to make responses. Um, and then people went in there ranting about being overcharged at certain places and everything. And they said, it's your own fault for being a foreigner. You got skin taxed. Are you sure you didn't get a flavored coffee?
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's
that's the
white
price.
because your skin tax. Yeah, it's the actual cost for a flavored
That's the
coffee.
price. Yeah.
And then somebody said white tax BS. If you can't afford to go there, then you should have went to McDonald's. Yeah, and that's
Well,
the truth. If you're at the Clarkton,
that's another. Yeah, that's my major thing. I mean, let's say you got overcharged. I mean, look at this price. Okay, look at the price. I mean, let's say you got charged. Let's say he's paying for the cheapest
fresh
one. That's
coffee is
like one.
95. Yeah.
Well, not the small one. He probably didn't think it's small one. What I'm saying is, like, for example, even the cheap one's 165, and you got overcharged 230. That's, I mean, sure, it's not a lot, but by Filipino standards, that's about right still.
Well, like I said, we're on a budget. We don't have tons of money to go traveling from place to place to place and be at the mall every day and out eating out every day and all of that, and we can still afford that type of coffee.
What I'm saying is, pay attention to where you're at. For example, me and Heidi, when we went to BGC and we were at Google, when we went to the shops, one of the places was ramen, 300 pesos. Okay, ramen, freaking ramen. Now I said friggin' because at first I thought it was some special kind of ramen, like, like you go to a restaurant in the U.S. There's this ramen bowl. You see, all different colors, swirls, and everything. No, they're talking about your freaking Maggie ramen. Your off the shelf 30 peso ramen times 10 price. No, really, I'm not joking. It's just regular ramen because I looked over the counter and I was like, holy crap, they're charging 300 pesos for a regular ramen. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's the location. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Disney, Of course they're going to overcharge you. You're at Clarkton. Of course they're going to overcharge you, even for cheap stuff.
But we were discussing. I was discussing also that it does seem like the prices are going up. There's no doubt that it's got to be just horrible. Like if we weren't bringing in the American dollars, a little extra money from YouTube, it would really stink. Even if I was telling George that even if we gave a salary of 1,000 pesos a day, which is high for certain Filipinos, it would still be rough to pay for a 230 peso coffee, but that is at the Clarkton. But what I'm noticing now is like there was a place that had Filipino pizza and they wanted 350 pesos for a small Filipino pizza. And when I say that, that means a lot of times there's no real cheese on there. It's just not the same qualities we would think of Western pizzas. That's a Filipino pizza. And that's a lot. That's like half of somebody's wages for a small pizza. It was small. And I'm like, no, the prices are starting to go up. So but in a case like that, it's a foreigner at a place that is known for expats. Yeah, they've been charging those prices. Hmm. Also, the same guy just complained less than 24 hours ago about tea bags. He went in and said that the waitresses are super loud and that they're screaming all the time and that they need to find a solution.
This
And
guy's too old.
This guy said here that any of the negative comments will be blocked at this point.
This guy's too old.
And so he was already saying off the bat, but yet he let other negative comments in there. He was picking and choosing. I never did get to getting in there and making those comments and seeing people respond about the white female expats.
T-Bax is a sports bar. Okay. T-Bax is great. Love it. Food is great. Service is great. Whatever. But guys and girls, it's a sports bar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said this guy's too old. You know why I said that? If he's complaining about the waitresses being loud in a loud location, he probably shouldn't be there.
Yeah, someone said here first. He goes. Every post that you put on here is negative. Like they said, do you even put anything positive on here? He said, first you complained about the Clarkton yesterday about a poor guy trying to make a living selling seafood on the side of the street. And second, it was during a hockey game or NBA when the game was turned up too loud, so it was
Well,
complaining
that's what I
about
said.
that.
He's too old.
I think the
If
waitresses are
he's
good there. No, T-Bax is a good place. They
yeah,
got good pizza there, everything. It says
yeah.
so. The guy was that's all he
It's a
was.
sports bar. What are you expecting from a sports bar? It's gonna be loud.
Yeah. So it's not going to be the first or the last. We hear from expats in person. We go through the expat forums. There's online expat forums. They're not on Facebook. You hear it through Reddit. You just hear from people. But I don't think it's individualized to just the Philippines. They do it over in Thailand. They do it over in
They do
Germany.
it
It's,
everywhere.
it's going to be why? Because you're no longer back in your country. So then there's going to be a heavy comparison for the most part, about, not having this and that. And then you get in with the infrastructure versus prices. And when you've been here, like I'm not been here the longest, but now that I'm officially been here for 4 years, now it's kind of like I'm kind of falling into that peso situation, the peso mentality. And it's like, man, that's way too expensive. And it's like and then you're looked at like you have a bunch of money. So then the complaints just go on and on.
Yeah. Um, now the reason why this was up here. Oh, hold on. This one is because again he started like telling the people to you're gonna ex-nay somebody by serving that this and this and this. Now let me clarify things to you guys how this works. When these people get the fish, or this one is crabs and shrimp, okay, now the shrimps don't survive that long. They're Shrimps are very fragile creatures if you guys ever took care of shrimps. um but most of the time the shrimps will be in ice. Now by the time you get to this guy, the ice is already gone, it's already melted away, so you won't see it. What I'm saying is, do they make an effort to try to keep it fresh? Yes. Now the crabs, you guys know, if you guys ever dealt with crabs or anything like that, they can live off the water for a long time. So what I'm saying is, the crabs, are they alive when they get them? Yes. Usually, when you're there early enough, you'll see them alive. And by the time, like right now, looking at here, it's probably 10 o'clock. They're probably still alive. Because looking at the shadow, that's probably about 10 o'clock. At noon, they'll probably be dying off. At 3 o'clock, they're probably dead. And then they'll still try to sell them after that. But what I'm saying is, Filipinos are aware, and they really don't like to eat something that's probably no chance. Kind of like um there's something called double dead. Again, for example, if something's already dead and they try to sell it, most Filipinos know it's double dead. They're not gonna buy that. They're not gonna eat that. Well, some do because of the price, only because of necessity. But point being is, on do they make an effort to keep it fresh? Most fishes again are alive when the vendors do get them, and if they're not alive, they do have ice on them, but then the ice melts away. Um, just saying.
Yeah, pretty much. If you don't want it, it's a walk away policy.
Yeah,
I
if you
mean,
don't
you
want it at
could
that
kind
point,
of.
then walk away.
I mean, maybe at this point, if I see something that's just a hot mess, I might lean into George and say, "Yeah, that's just." But I'm not going to go like through there and like post after post. This guy's been posting 4 or 5 posts in a row about things that are,
Yeah,
and he's been here. I mean, he's got other posts on there, so if the guy's been here for a while, so he's not new here, which is even more surprising. He
yeah.
should know.
Now,
So.
point being, if you're in Mexico or in Philippines, I'm being specific in these areas because I know how it works. If you want something fresh, aka fish or something like that, or meat, go out at 5:30 or 6:30 in the morning. 6:30 the latest, and then be there at the market at 6:30 the latest, and then you have a good chance of getting good fresh stuff. Anything later than that, then it's on you because that's the culture. And any Filipino knows, if you, for example, if I were the one to complain to another Filipino and says, "Man, those crabs are dead," and blah blah blah, and then the first thing they'll ask me is, why are they dead? What time did you go there? That's the first question they'll ask. What time did you go there? Oh, I got there at 4 in the morning or afternoon? In the afternoon. And then they'll probably tell you, what's wrong with you? Of course they're gonna be dead. You know what I'm saying? In our culture, they're like, yeah, you don't do that. You go early at 5 o'clock in the morning. You should be at the market by then. 6:30 at the latest. No, really, this is the culture. Even in Mexico. So it's not your place to tell the country how to run the business. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Bisayang ka no, how you doing, man? Lou Antics.
Hey, what's going
Tarzan,
on?
thumbs up all the way down. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hey, Ryan and Chu, how you doing? How you guys doing?
Hey, what's going
Ryan and Chu
on?
in the house. Hey guys, been a while. Michael Taylor says, just keeping it real. That's what I like about you guys. There's no acting. Tarzan says, watching from Bakersfield.
Hey,
All
what's
right,
going
Bakersfield,
on?
California. Oh my gosh, Earn Doggy, you ain't right. Earn Doggy Fool. Geomatic 2000 with Vespa grips has traction.
Did you see he took the video down?
Which
He put
one?
it on silent.
Which one? There's two.
The Geo toy. There was
There's
another.
two toys.
When did he put a second toy up?
Yeah, it was a plug.
Are you serious?
Yes,
When?
like a couple days after, literally.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like right after our live.
Yeah, go ahead and mute that, please, because I'm not going to talk about toys on air. No, I have to say something. That's just ridiculous. Who? I mean, it's one thing to have a love toy. It's another one to have a butt toy.
Well, those are toys, regardless. I mean,
It's just weird. So, anyways, I know the one got taken down.
well, it
He
wasn't.
probably took them both down.
It's not okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with the review, and there's nothing wrong with the recommendation. I just think it's out of place. That's it.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um.
Spank George, yeah. No, that's not the way anybody's ever going to see it. They're only going to see that I'm picking on poor George here because he gets quiet. But I'm sorry, you guys don't know the rest of our life, what we're going through on a daily basis, what happened before the live stream started. Oh, she's yelping at the kittens.
They're probably escaping.
They're probably escaping. The kittens are on the move, and she's very protective of them. But
Just a lot of it.
the whole point is that it's frustrating for me, and we're going to voice this out. Uh, it's tit for tat. What he does to me, I do to him, and it goes back and forth, or I get the full silent treatment, which is even worse. And so it's just frustrating for me. That's all. So we go through this frustrating thing. We've been doing live streams, and now that we're not, we used to do like, we were doing 4 and 5 live streams a week. It's just like, sometimes I'm wondering if he's just getting out of practice for it, or he's, like I said, he's tired, maybe. I don't know. So where are we at?
Yeah. No, I was looking for the link. It's probably gone now.
Good morning, Alan Johnson. And then George ever started about DJ. The music we're using is AI. So all the music is done through AI. We create the words and the type of music and the sound and all that is put together. But basically the only thing we're not doing is playing the physical instruments, and then they add singers in it. So at that point it's an AI voice singing our music. So it still takes some creation, but AI took a lot of the work. So yeah, so no. He does play instruments though.
Yeah, I play this pen still.
And by the way, on the electric bill,
Yeah.
it's only 770 kilowatts for this amount too. So I think last month we had 900 or 1,000 or something. So we have less,
Wait.
but we're paying, yeah. So it's only 760 kilowatts for this amount. So price went up again.
Well, yes and no. The prices per kilowatt hour is on the side. Compare it. But what I'm saying is there's breaks. Like if you hit a certain like tier.
Yeah, but 760.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's certain
Same
tiers
as-
too where
I
you
think
get a
it's the
break.
same electric bill.
Yeah.
We just had the AC that had repair and a deep clean in it, and yes,
Yeah,
it was
apparently we
leaking
had
Freon and it was freezing
yeah.
up, and the nut was cracked. There's a cracked nut in this house, and not last night
no,
either.
really, it does have.
That's what's
have
wrong
that
with George. He didn't get
cracked nut.
service this morning, and he's got a stomach bug. By the way, that's probably not going to help because that's real milk in there.
That's all right. You only live once. YOLO. YOLO.
Not when you already got liquid diarrhea, dude.
Really? I'm
Hey.
pretty sure they don't want to like think about that whenever you guys are drinking your coffee.
It didn't say that it had pumpkin seeds in it.
Pumpkin chai latte, guys. Just think of me. Pumpkin chai latte. You're welcome.
Pretty much.
All right. Anyway,
no,
right?
notice cranky. Yeah, and when I'm sick, I'm extra cranky. And there's something.
Yeah. Ryan
Although
Q
I'm-
says our little boy's been keeping us busy. He's little. We call him little #baby boss, right? No. Kids just change everything. Literally, they just change everything.
Yeah, they do.
Look correct. Good morning from San Francisco, California. Yay.
Oh no.
Oh dang! Aaron Doggy Fool says head cheese. All right.
And you guys thought I was the one full of cheese. Wrong. Yep. George is a pro.
Just think of cottage cheese. That's what it looks like. Anyway.
Thought I was the only one making cheese in this house.
Now, as far as taste goes, it's a little salty. Anyway, Hector Goop.
My cheese or your cheese?
It's called humor. Anyway.
You've got humor?
Yes. I bought it at the Sorry store.
Bought it at that side stand. That's probably that guy was
right. Hector Goop says, have you guys heard about that American who lived in one of the in-airport hotels for 2 weeks because he said regular hotels are too expensive. He defecated in his pants and attracted and wanted to. What?
No. Is this just somebody back in the U.S. or?
Yeah.
And was he just living in the airport? Because airport hotels weren't any cheaper to me. As a matter of fact, they were more expensive to be inside, unless it was one of those 1 hour deals. But yeah.
I was watching a documentary channel, and they said, don't believe everything you see on YouTube. And the funny part is when they said that, they paused and just stared at the screen and just, blinked their eyes. Point being is, don't believe everything on YouTube.
So much more misinformation, and
or it's a ploy, aka, oh, I'm homeless. No, you're not homeless. I can tell. And sure enough, they're not. But
it's getting rougher by the day with the stuff that's being put
they
out.
pull more and more stunts, and it's just stupid. It's like Jackass on steroids. That's what YouTube's starting to turn into.
And that coffee swallowing by accident was coughing Starbucks.
That's an expensive cough, just saying.
Yeah, I mean.
Racer X says must feel.
Oh, what?
Uncomfy after that release.
Hey.
Hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
It's hard because I'm left-handed, but I'm not left-handed for the remote or for the Saturday Night Live suggests renaming Alaska to the Gulf of Canada. They're still talking about turning Canada into a part of the U.S. There's just so much going on. It's just crazy. Hey, what's going on, Curtis? What is going on?
Good morning, gang.
Is this George or Ricky? His face is so dark. Well, like I said, it looks extra dark today. I don't know because usually you're not wearing your glasses because before you did have your glasses off. We'll start losing the light. It just looks especially dark. Oh, it could be the new curtains make it even darker in here. But the lights they're right there in the corner. So my guess is lately has been the blackout curtains. So because it was a little lighter beforehand.
Yeah, probably.
But your glasses weren't on. So there were two factors that made it for me to make me say, hey. And so
Divorce is illegal in the Philippines. White
yeah,
Samurai says Walking Street offers crabs for free. There you go. True
right there
story.
it is.
True story.
Yeah, no. What do you mean another fight?
Amy, me and Abel, good morning.
I
Follow
was
channel.
hey
Thumbs up.
Mimi and Avil. What is going on, guys? The I was just saying that on the last live stream, and I believe this hardcore. The more happier these YouTube vlogging couples, which there's tons and thousands of them around the world, and the more they're like this and all of this, and you know, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Stay away from Turtle Tim over here. He's going to make everybody sick. Are you feeling okay there, Turtle Tim?
Not really.
Why don't you drink your milky coffee there? I got some nice Australian milk I can add to that for you.
Australian milk.
Yeah, that stuff's yummy, man. Got some Australian milk that came from Landers.
So just some Australian woman just walks up and just.
Pretty much. And I would drink straight from her chest, man. If that meant that, man, just get me a straw. I'm telling you right now, that is some damn good shit. I'm talking about.
I didn't know.
They love
I didn't know
cows.
Australians had milkmaids.
They do. It's Australian milk, and it's really good. So, but no, the happier these couples seem on air, the more I don't trust that shit. And every couple that we've seen, I'm just waiting for the real deal to fall through with half these vlogging couples because there's just no way life is that perfect. And so a lot of them are putting on a show, and I'm not going to stop. He irritated me before the live, and sometimes he irritates me after, and vice versa. And then, we're just an everyday couple, and that's just the way it goes. And so I just where it is, guys. So divorce my ass, never.
Victor C, trash. Oscar Grouch says, can it?
Yeah, that was rough, man. Yeah, we seen you on the respect thing. Respect is a two-way street, and you don't know the full story. So, next.
White Samurai says, okay. He's talking about the sports bar. Keyword sports bar, which it's going to be noisy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
guess what? If it's noisy, of course, they're usually the servers are louder. They have to be. White Samurai says the classier the place, the quieter tends to be. Correct.
And here's one thing I've noticed that Filipinos tend to be outgoing anyways for the most part. In other words, you'll hear them laughing, having a good time, and it's sometimes I actually wonder if it's even a workplace. Sometimes they're having such a good time, and it's something that I wouldn't see a lot in the U.S. Well, it's been a few years since I've been back in the U.S., but my point is that it can be it's to be expected. Hey, Jennifer, what's going on?
Jennifer says, I miss crabs, especially the eggs. Yum.
Did you say hi to Jammer Travels?
Jammer Travels, woo, I'm number 11, USA.
Number 11.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's why.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I was just saying hi to him if you didn't say hi.
Yeah. Lou says you need to get the fish from the fisherman in the morning.
Yep.
Well, that means you're really super early. If you get usually 3 o'clock, if you want to get straight from the fisherman, that's about the time they pull their boats in. 5 o'clock is when the vendors start selling, and 6:30 would be somewhat the acceptable time to arrive and purchase things.
Hey, Philip Maisie's in the house.
Our Philippine Journey says mud crabs can live days out of water if you sprinkle a little water on them every few hours. Yeah, no, that's that's what they usually do is they let the crabs live for a long time, but they don't usually purchase them dead. Not usually. Now, do some do? Yes, but there's shady people anytime, anywhere, in any country. So
And we've had, it's the same with the trash guy. It was just something frustrating, and usually on an issue like that, kind of like when the kids were in that lot across there and they almost, in my opinion, was going to burn the lot down across the street. It's something that, when was that? About a year ago, year and a half ago, that all went down. I was really frustrated over it. And for like George, he's kind of like chilled about it and everything else. But if we seen somebody who's starting fires in the US across in an empty lot, you guys would be freaking out too. But for here, I guess it's, it just seemed to be fine. The same with the kids touching the vehicles, jumping on people's vehicles, up against the vehicles. For me, that was a problem too. It is part of just adjusting. And there are good trash guys that are in here. If I want something different, I have to change my own environment. And I told George eventually, probably within a year or two, we will be moving out of here, whether it's to a farm, which would be preferable for me of some sort, or, like out in the province more, or on to Clark somewhere. So where it's a little less of all these issues and into a subdivision. But I'll tell you right now, I was telling him, I said, it's going to cost us about 4 times the rent. So 3 to 4 times the rent. So I know George is looking forward to that. I'm going to be digging into your piggy bank.
Yeah, I was looking forward to an Australian milk farm.
Maybe I'm going to get one where somebody will appreciate me. I'll milk them and they can milk me.
There you go. Philip Macy says, "Hey, George and Heidi, are there any good cheeseburgers available near you?"
Yes. Texas Roadhouse has a hell of a cheeseburger or a burger.
Well, I'm still gonna say Kenny Rogers.
Oh, Kenny Rogers got a really good one.
And actually, since we brought up T-Bax has good cheeseburgers too.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to Kenny Rogers personally more than anything.
And it never hurts to get a quarter pounder at the McDonald's here. They're not bad either. I mean, I was really surprised that their meat is not the taste is almost exact as the US, of course. I mean, it does change in different countries, but at the end of the day, that's where I would be going. Of course, Burger King doesn't have bad, but yeah, I mean, I would have to say those 3 places.
Yeah,
lots of places.
Tony Manning says Geo uses butt plugs. Philip Macy says, "Wow, Geo's getting that creepy. He might need some counseling after the breakup."
I think a lot of men and women are freaks more than people know.
Tony Manning says, "What did that woman do to Geo?" We don't know what she did to him. I mean,
I totally miss it.
It must have been something really good. Just saying. And then she left. Now it's really bad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I've been sleeping on and off the last few days, so I must have missed that video or it didn't get sent direct because we have 2 different messengers. So George must have got the other one. What is going on, Scott?
Yeah. Hey, Scott. Yoo-hoo. Lou says, "I was outside fixing my car at 39 degrees Fahrenheit in Texas today, but I'm sure other people are going through a rougher time."
Yeah, that's one thing I can't do. I was listening to Sunshine Shoulders, who's going back to the United States, and he was going on about getting prepped and stuff. And I would have to agree. As much as I complain about the heat, I'd much rather sweat. Like I've been doing different house activities where I've been sweating a whole bunch too. And I said it's much better than being in the cold. Did you see where the cars were? I guess either a main or something broke, and all the cars in the area were underwater but iced over, so they were chipping away at the cars and stuff. But I just can't imagine. Because like Sunshine said, he came from a state where it was extremely cold. Now, I had lived in Florida forever, but I left when I was close to 16 and moved to Florida. So for 16 years, I lived in Ohio. And it doesn't seem a whole long time now that you think about it. But yeah, I just can't imagine. Even Florida could get to 50 degrees. As a matter of fact, recently it was snowing, and I just can't even imagine the 50 degrees anymore. We froze in Mexico. You were sitting doing the fires all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of freezing, are you cold?
There's Mexico. There was no electric heater. It was a furnace. So I had to literally chop wood nonstop to keep us warm. I mean, it's nice and cool at first, but chopping wood is a chore, and I mean, it gets old after a while. But it's something you have to do. Like, how many times I did it? 3 times a day, I think.
You were always, yeah.
No, I was always chopping wood. Yeah.
No, George was a real hero there because he was doing that, and then we lived out in this cabin that was it was really nice up
It
further
was
up the
nice. It
mountain.
was don't get us wrong. It was really nice.
And we just both didn't want to be foreigners, and plus the requirement for income to stay and amount in the bank and all that at that time we could not meet.
But
and so
the problem with the furnace is
we had no active income.
I would start the fire at 10 o'clock at night, keep it, stoke it, and then we'd fall asleep. And guess what happens? 3 o'clock in the morning, that fire is already out, and I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day and start the fire all over from scratch. And bad enough you start a fire when you're okay, you know what I'm saying? Worse when you're like, just woke up and then you're groggy and then you're freezing your butt off and that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Sarah says, "Okay, thanks. I thought I was getting cataracts. It's a little darker." Sattler, yeah, I know.
Yeah, less donuts. Yeah, actually, yeah, I've kicked sugar now for a while.
Yeah, I kind of.
It's cold for us.
I haven't
50
gotten
degrees.
Heidi any sweets lately. No donuts, no pan de cocos, no.
Nope, that's it. I finally this is the last round. I just had to totally change my diet. I just can't have any more sugar. It's probably been what, 2 weeks? It's been probably even longer than that, but I went to little to none to just none. So now it's just all high protein. And yes, I feel much better. My joints, my energy. It's not going to fully control the lupus or my other medical conditions, but my pain level has gone probably in half. And so that to me is enough. So it's no longer about losing weight. It's about the actual condition getting better. So yeah, I had to kick sugar. So
Yeah.
so
Dennis Garcia says 50 degrees ain't cold and cold.
I mean, I miss the donuts. Believe me, I'm a sugar freak. So it's just like it's hard for people to give up alcohol and cigarettes and anything else they're doing. I've given all the above up plus sugar. That's rough.
Well, not like you were actually.
Yeah, any of the above. Right?
Dennis Garcia says, "I wish it was so as high as 50 here." Right? I mean,
no, it'd probably be a dream.
Yeah.
For some states, I know that they're actually
freezing their butts off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So all in all, for those that missed it, I ended up paying a trash man that wasn't ours, and then he left the trash behind. The dogs went through it and tore it up, and I thought he was an assistant to the trash guy. I knew it was too soon to pay him, but somewhere in my mind, I thought, no, let me get it out of here. Maybe it's because there was extra out there, but no, he's the one that took it up out of there like he was our trash man, and that was frustrating. Me and George talked about that for a little bit. But my deal was going back out there and cleaning up the trash afterwards, after the dogs got it the next morning. And I looked out there. By the time I walked in the house, he had already left. And when I looked at the camera, I was like, oh my God, he took the money and walked away at the same time. He was out of sight by the time I got in the house. I'm like, believe me, I know my neighbors heard that crap because I was like, son of a bleep. And yeah, I said it probably about 10 times. Son, I said, how? I said, dang, man, I got taken. That was the same day that I said something. It was almost like karma for me, man. It was just like total karma. And I'm like, well, I'll be looking for that guy. And now it's starting to make me think again about bringing the cans back in. But I think that's going to be an impossible to bring the cans.
No, that's that.
Because our guy now comes anywhere between 9, 10, and 11 at night now. He comes sometimes at midnight. I can't believe it because it gets the dogs going in the neighborhood. And I'm like, I don't understand it, but he's definitely got a system. As a matter of fact, when I told George, I believe the trash guy actually, I still think the guy that came was part of his fraction, I call it faction or something, that it could have been that they knew that we had an extra bag out there and knew that it had to be. He hasn't been here in like almost 10 days, 9 days, which means he had to know that even on a regular small basis, there was trash to be picked up.
No, okay.
It was just weird for me.
I think he's in cahoots? No. Does he know him? Probably, but not necessarily in cahoots. The reason being is he jeopardizes his income if he does that, and he knows it.
Maybe not if
No,
they split it. Not if
it's not a
they.
maybe. That's besides.
It was just too much of a coincidence. It was the actual monthly
I
fee. It was
know that, but
really.
that's easy to get. That's information easy to get. All you have to do is talk, and you can get that information from anybody.
I still felt like it was a setup. So.
Yeah, from that guy.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm talking about hosing somebody down. Maybe I should hose him down. Then if I catch him out there
I
going through
wouldn't
there, I'm gonna
hose
run
him
him out.
down. I would threaten the barangay. I would tell him to leave, or else we'll call the barangay. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, just to clarify, Ron White Leo says, Ron White Leo, Trump does not like the Philippines and will cut aid soon to them. Okay,
Mm.
it's not that he doesn't like the Philippines.
Doesn't like nobody.
No, actually, that's not it. Trump is just a person. Okay, I mean, again, I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. It has nothing. I mean, because again, honestly, he doesn't affect me no matter what he does. But other than my social security. But anyway, but what I'm getting at is it's up to the Philippine president, aka Bongbong Marcos, whether or not they have a good relationship. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if he has a good relationship, if he has a good rapport with Trump, remember, presidents are humans. I mean, they have feelings, they have biases. You know what I'm saying? So if they have a good relationship, doesn't matter what the condition is of the Philippines or whatever, or the president. If the president of the Philippines, regardless of who it is, and it doesn't matter if the president of the United States, doesn't matter who it is, if those current presidents have a good relationship with each other, the aid will continue. If they have a bad relationship, as far as the current president and of either country,
He's cutting aid off to everybody.
I
He's
know that,
firing his own
except
employees in a
right, no,
nutshell.
but
Yeah, except weirdly,
correct.
Israel and
It's exactly.
Egypt or
It's who
something,
he has ties with. It's who he's in cahoots with.
which he does here too. But they said that in the end they're going to reconsider each one of them and put them back in place. But the Philippines is no different than these other countries that have a list of items that are being paid out for no reason. In other words, all these factions that have applied. I mean, at this point, according to records, that it says even the LGBTQ here are getting funds for different things. And so it goes out that some of the things they've been talking about all these other countries are happening here too, like all the other countries. There are also controversial stuff here too. So just understand that, and they are starting to bring the receipts out for this. And it's on the website and it's in the Filipino newspapers that are putting the stuff out. So it's not like total unheard of thing. But yeah, he doesn't like it. Truth is I think he just doesn't. I don't think he's picking and choosing right now. I think he's trying to make some major legacy right now. This is his last run, and he's gonna, there's gonna be people following. I'm sure he plans to put his son in there at some point. Although he's got a long way to go, he's awful quiet. So they're talking about just going to be Democrat after this point or something. I think they're just trying to build up the Democrats by doing this. But speaking of which, the checks that are getting ready, that they're talking about, that $5,000 check. There's been a lot of buzz on that, and it would still indicate that taxpayers would be able to get those checks. But of course, like they said, it's not going to happen for another year. It won't be anytime soon, and it can be paid out to the expats that still have a way to put it direct deposits in their banks, and they've still got the ties back to the house, back to their home and stuff in the U.S. And it's supposed to be one check per household situation, and so there's a lot of ways that you could get it, but there's also buzz about Social Security being raised too. And so in my case, I've always spoke about this. I don't file taxes right now, currently. So this last 2 years, I have not filed because mine is under 25,000. So just about a hair under that, but I am not required to file right now. So um, I will not qualify for that check. So I'm just saying out in the open that whoever's on Social Security, if they're paying current taxes and all that, it would have to be for the last few years. Um, Although I'm starting to wonder on the household thing. 1 second here. I'm going to ask George something. Okay, so yeah, he files here, so that wouldn't qualify any household and stuff. So, but yeah, a lot of people are talking about that possibility of the check, and then they say the money should go back into the U.S. government and everything, and so we shall see. So we don't count on it, and I think they should put it back into the government. But
Dennis Garcia says it's 28 degrees here in Massachusetts, 17 degrees with wind chill. That's really cold. Laws in the Philippines says off topic, but I've noticed more expats are unalived in Cebu than Manila, even though Manila is much larger. Yes, well, Manila is way overpopulated
there
too.
was one expat. When was other expats on the live in Cebu recently? Was there? I mean, they passed away.
Well, I don't know. I'm just reading it. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not aware that there
Is
were that
Cebu
many.
more dangerous than Manila? It almost seems as dangerous as Mindanao. Well, I wouldn't say it's as dangerous as Mindanao, and again, depends on where you're at in Mindanao, and also depends on where you're at in Cebu and who you deal with in Cebu. Kind of like same thing. For example, there's an area in Siargao, which everybody knows where Siargao is, right? You know that beach place. There's this place in that area where it's really not safe at all, period. But my point being is there's always bad places in certain areas. So
And you
um
also just got to watch what you're doing
yeah.
situations. I mean, like the guy at the club and everything, that UFC fighter, whatever. To me, in my opinion, he was still out partying at 3 a.m. drinking, and it was just a bad situation to be in a club with
Well,
a
that was
bunch of
6
girls. And
o'clock in the morning or something.
when he left, yeah,
Yeah.
but at that point, he was still, drinking through the night and stuff. But looks like a lot of the confrontation happened midway. A couple hours later, he was out there, and then, but the main confrontation happened. It's just, I guess, wrong place at the wrong time situation.
No, it is. And not victim blaming or anything. There's always an old saying, and again, I didn't make up the saying. Nothing good ever happens at past 3. You guys have heard of that one, right? But then there's a reason for it because usually by the time you go past 3 and keep on partying, it means people have lost their judgment at that point. Not necessarily you. This thing is when you go out, you're not the one you have to worry about. You have to worry about what other people do. Same thing with driving. It's not that we're accusing anybody of bad driving, but point is you're aware of what you can do and how you drive, but you don't know how these other people around you how they drive.
It's like the American that was just unalived recently again in the Mindanao area, was with his Filipino spouse, and supposedly the money was taken out of the ATM sometime in the late evening,
Oh,
and then
geez,
they
that
headed
one.
to the resort. Oh, he's making post after post. Now he's threatening defamation for everybody.
Now,
Everything's defamation.
keep
That
in
he's just
keep in mind that
distraught.
he says that first off, he really doesn't have a case for the most part because one, he is in his exact words, a POI. His exact words is he's a POI. And what does POI mean?
Piece of inside.
Yes, exactly. No, Heidi's
Piece of
joking.
insurance. Piece of eyes. Piece of Enicel.
Hey, that's really good. Okay, Heidi's joking around, but in all honesty, it's person of interest.
Piece of ice candy.
His exact words himself, he stated he's a person of interest. What does that mean? He's a suspect.
Yeah.
Person of
So
interest
just
is
because someone said it looked like he wasn't this or that, because the guy the kid put up a screenshot showing what it is, and right at the bottom it says must have suffered substantially in order to be paid or for the fees to be returned back. How is somebody like us saying, hey, what's he doing posting photos a week before his husband died half naked? That didn't ruin his life.
no,
His own damn photos ruined his life.
no. He
He
did
did his
that
own
own post.
damage.
Yeah, that's not.
He goes, I don't
Yeah.
care about the constant,
And he
whatever
wasn't
about
talking
free
about us
speech.
anyway.
I
But
really don't give a shit
yeah,
who
he
was
wasn't
talking
talking about
about.
us. But what I'm saying is, POI is not a
Other people are attacking him in his
I know
own
that.
comments by saying that they feel that he did it, but people stating that he may or may not versus it didn't destroy his life. His life was already destroyed. So it's
Yeah,
it's kind of
and
odd.
it is suspicious. Yes, regardless whether he's completely innocent or not, it is suspect.
Yeah. Supposedly the money was on the Filipino, and the Filipino, they took the money from the Filipino but shot the husband, the American, which was just for no reason.
And usually they don't, again, they
But that is
usually,
up to the court of law, by the
yeah.
way. Must say that all of it's an alleged. And every time somebody says something, puts something out, he's like with bated breath right now. Like literally, he's waiting to jump on people, and it's
Yeah.
like seems a little weird
Well,
to me.
just watch his interview. I mean,
Yeah, well,
you don't have to understand his language. Just watch his behavior. Watch how he responds, how his actions are. That just watch the interview, and you're like, even you guys would, even if you don't understand what he's saying, you're like, that doesn't seem like a very distraught person.
Yeah, and another thing we talked about this week is usually we do the week's wrap up when we have extra time. We had also seen that the the wife of Elliot Eastman, she's been doing a lot more live streams, and now all of a sudden she's posting more photos of him. She's still running the internet cafe part, but not her store anymore. But she's doing more lives, and in the live, she told several people that one of the children was hers. When confronted, she has admitted the new baby. She said is not hers. At one point, she said it was, but she's saying that the 2-year-old that was around all the time was her child, which is it's kind of no, I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me. It's coming from her own lips. Why would she make that up?
I'm not saying she is. I'm saying is there's more to this story, but we just don't tell you only because we don't want to get into it.
Yeah. So basically, she's still running the store and everything on that update. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so as far as the unaliving, I wouldn't say specifically one area. And to be honest, there's a bunch you guys don't hear about. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm sorry. There's a lot they're not releasing as far as foreigners, Filipinos. They say that they would, but sorry. That's another announcement. Was what I thought was weird on Facebook. Somebody made the big announcement. The immigration made the announcement that they're catching overstayers, and they've been saying that they're going to catch them and do this, and that. And somebody reposted on Angel City Expats stating, "Oh, they're cracking down and they're not taking bribes anymore, and they're going to catch you all." And I'm like, that's why there's like 20 homeless people walking around Angel City with no immigration paperwork, no nothing, or all the foreigners that are here that don't have papers for like 10 plus years. And that's why they caught them dudes too. And it's like, I think it's the same like in the US and stuff. They'll get to it when they get to it. They just brag about it when it happens. It's, views for their page or something. But it's like, yeah, they need to start with the ones that are right in front of them. Like it's
Yeah. Now, as far as immigration is concerned, yes, they are cracking down. Yes, that is a fact. That is true.
they're asking on the visas and stuff. Not as tough as what some people are putting out there, but I don't think it's so ramp. It's not like the United States. It's like, who's at the door? It's not
Yeah.
like
Now,
not today, devil.
when a cop pulls you over, okay, in the Philippines or even the US, a good rule of thumb. I'm not telling you to do bribes. First off, it's illegal. Okay, but I'm just letting you guys know if you get pulled over, it doesn't matter what country it is.
Hey,
If a
pause.
cop pulls you over and there's a supervisor there, you can't bribe him. What I'm saying is, they don't usually send supervisors in any country for no good reason. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, when a cop pulls you over, it's just one cop. You know what I'm saying? But it's not usually a cop and a supervisor. So what I'm saying is, when they pull you over in the Philippines, if you're one of those people that do bribe things, first off, again, I don't recommend it. But if you are one of them, look around. If there's a supervisor nearby, because you can tell supervisors, that's different. They have better cars and they have better motorcycles. Depends on,
There's a chance they
yeah.
won't even mess with you at
If they're
all because
if
you're a foreigner. They don't want to.
right,
A lot of them don't speak
but
clear
if
English.
they do, because it's if you do something terrible, like you actually almost hit somebody, or you actually nick somebody, that kind of deal. Of course, they're going to pull you over. It doesn't matter what you are. But what I'm saying is, if there's a supervisor there, don't even try doing that weird, bribe them thing. I mean,
just
have
wait.
have
Just
a
wait to be asked.
have a little common sense there and just sit
Yeah,
in.
don't make the offer. Just wait and see what kind of ticket. Hey, what are you doing? Kitty, kitty,
Yeah.
kitty.
Denison says, enjoy your videos from Tucson, Arizona. All right, Tucson. Pine Eddie says, I think if Fort Knox isn't up to your par, it will make a big difference. Well, right? Well,
Do you think the money's in Fort Knox? They're saying Elon says he's going to.
okay.
And what's
Now,
the deal with Elon and the president trying to show how much is missing from the government? Doesn't that make the government look bad all the way around? They're willing to expose themselves for the social media pat side of it, or think about that.
okay.
Right now,
First off,
they're putting the entire world. It doesn't
it's
make us
bad.
look stronger. It
It'll
makes
make
us look
them. It'll
weaker.
give everybody a bad taste of the
Right.
government.
So if it's like,
It
hey,
will put
we've been robbing ourselves of
yes.
trillions of
It's a
dollars, but
big distrust. Yes.
look at me, I'm going to get it back.
Now, the Fort Knox thing. Okay, now some of you who follow conspiracy theories. Okay, first off, I don't really do conspiracy theories, but I do. I'm an open minded person. There's always been a conspiracy that Fort Knox
Never ending.
is empty, and you know
Okay,
no, that first off, that's never true.
real quick, 98 people in the room. If you think Fort Knox is empty, put a 1 in there. Just comment
All right,
1
yeah.
if
Well,
you think it's
then
empty.
before I say anything, yeah, just answer Heidi's, and we'll get back into it. Yeah. So
Well, we can just
well,
tell your theory.
no. Well, let's see. My theory is not going to change
Well, yeah, I know. So why go back to it and answer comments and
because
usually takes the.
no. The reason being is because then when I'm talking, I might influence their decision whether it's a 1 or a 2.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
they already made up
Anyway.
their melons anyways. I think it's empty. 1.
Misankana says, I'm gonna have to try that milk. Kudos.
Just remember that the trust no government, trust no man.
What is the milk?
Only
again?
trust your mother and yourself. That's it.
What?
And if your mother was shady and you had to count your money out if it was on your dresser in the bedroom, then don't count on your mama either. Just count on yourself. And Fort Knox is empty.
Wow. Post Office Joe says, lol, -9 centigrades with windshield.
Oof.
-14 centigrades in Ontario, Canada. Holy crap.
Insane.
Wow. Yeah, that makes us look like wimps. Holy crap.
Go get that milk.
Huh?
Go get that quarter milk in a kitten.
Then push.
Here. Oh, you need. Well, yeah, he needs out here if he's gonna go get the.
Wait, this one? This one?
Yeah. And
There's no Australian girl in front of it.
there isn't. There it is. It's in the quart. It's really actual good.
Oh, crap.
You have to leave.
Wait. You're missing a cat.
Is that behind the bed?
No.
Make sure she's.
No. I think she's moving them.
Where did the black one go?
You're missing a kitten. I think she's moving them. It's too exposed, babe.
She is trying to get rid of them.
Well, she's not trying to get rid of them. She's trying to hide them. Because you're supposed to pull back the cover.
There they are. Oh, you're just going to be too cute to put back outside in the rain, aren't you? Huh? You sure he didn't get back there?
No.
I hear him. Got a kitten on the loose, guys. I know. I'm sure. I mean, George, that is he in the box? Did you put him inside that box?
Yes.
Is he really in there? Get him out, babe.
Huh?
You can't leave
She's
him.
in there too. She's in there too.
Oh, you guys are missing these two snuggling here.
Yeah, she's in there too.
Look at this, Dad.
Yeah, I know. They're so cute.
Oh man, they're stinky cute. What? She can't. And plus, there's other things. There's canned peaches inside.
I know that, but that's maybe she,
Well, then
she
lock
wants
her
it
in.
covered.
Okay, well then cover it and put her in there.
Well,
All right, guys, we're gonna have to. The kitten break is over. So, all right, put it 2 if you guys want me to throw them out today, and they can just struggle in the yard out here with the
holy
heat dry.
crap! Really?
It's better doing what I was gonna do to them before. Yeah, so lock her in there. She doesn't know how to get out of there, by the way. Lock her in, and get the poor kid out of there. Jeez. No, this milk is really good. Farm fresh Australian milk, but you got to get the full cream. I'm talking about like it's like really, really good.
Here's fat. Here's fat. So
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Well, I was gonna have you taste that. Get a glass of it, babe. This is the one we're gonna try to keep, but I doubt it because she's a crybaby. This is her favorite, and she's twice as big as the rest of them. And her dad comes by every day now and gets fed. He tries to come for visits. Isn't she cute? Oh, black. Huh? All right, put her up. Oh, jeez. Here. Well, just get a.
then, oh, I already put it away.
Yeah, just
No,
get.
no.
You don't want to try it? Probably don't need the real. Oh, can you get past that here? Fine.
All right. Finally says the 20% is to set up the tattletales.
Yes, they. Let me get back my mic. You guys probably couldn't hear that well, but the they did say that yes, that's what it's going to really be about. Is people will start telling on people. It's like they're already doing that shit. It's be at the ABC hotel in 2 weeks. All right, so you're almost on your way.
Oslo.
They got good food there too. We forgot ABC's got good. We've been there several times at ABC. They've got really good food.
Tony Manning says 1. I got it all back in the 90s.
Jeez.
John Miranda says, curious about what Westerners think of bidet washing your bum with water and soap. So foreigners saying it's unsanitary compared to wiping.
No. Bidets have been around. It's just not an Asian thing, or it's a thing from all over the world, the Middle East. And I myself have used it quite a bit and did in the Middle East and everything.
In Middle East, it's a common practice. Yes.
Yeah, so I was used to it. So I was in a 10-year marriage where it was quite normal. So, and no, I think it's way cleaner. I will let you know that we do buy. There's a company that has
Tony
the wipes
Maxey.
that are made out of. Oh, he thinks it's all there. I thought he said one already. What's he doing? He said 1 and 2, so nobody's going to say whether the Fort Knox money's in there. So we use both. It's kind of like we're like double and triple. So a lot of people, we had a discussion about that, and somebody made a comment. They felt it was wasteful that we had a bidet, toilet paper, and that. And I'm like, well, if we calculate the amount we spend each year, it's what we spend it on. But I guess it is somewhat waste of money, but it's kind of like double clean, and then you dry afterwards situation, but it's still clean all the way around. And sometimes you just drip dry. Let's get a 3 for drip drying, or 47 for drip dry. Let's get a 69 for drip drying. Put 69 if you guys drip dry.
Yeah.
Let's try that whole thing. 69 for drip dry.
Right. Now, as far as Fort Knox is concerned, the gold is there.
I hope
However,
Elon proves them wrong. Take that.
is all the gold there? That's the real question. What Elon's asking, he's not asking whether the gold is there or not. He's asking if all the gold is there. That's the real question.
Who was the one that went looking for that gangster, Geraldo? Maybe they ought to take Geraldo in there, like he went looking after that gangster. Remember, they did that on live, like it was a whole disappointment.
That actually somewhat killed his career. Yeah.
Well, maybe he can revive it by going to Fort Knox.
Because he was a serious journalist up until he did that.
I mean, here's my deal. If Trump is doing that now, like all the stuff he's doing, why don't they just go over there and show people? If I was president, that's what I would do. Why not? Why? Is somebody going to wipe me out?
They might. At this point, they might. I mean, they're kind of,
He said everything else, hasn't he?
They're all holds barred right now, so they might.
Yeah. It's kind of out there.
Now,
96, huh?
The question is if they don't, that's the real problem. The reason why I say that is if they don't show what's in there, now you have to question everything. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, this is just an odd time. It's a really odd time, and I'm glad that I'm in the Philippines. But then again, next thing you know, there's something that goes south here, and I'm like, I want to go home. It's kind of like,
right?
Because somebody had mentioned it was a horrible short. It was like a video somebody made on YouTube, and it stated that there's a prediction that's coming out that there's going to be 2 volcano eruptions next month or something, March or April, and I'm like, holy smoke! Don't even say that. They said Pinatubo and the other one that's been bubbling over there. They said they're both going to go off, and I'm like, don't even say that, man.
Who says that?
It was somebody majorly fear mongering. It was one of the channels. They created a short, and it was done by the AI voice, but they paid for one. It wasn't a cheap one. It really sounded like Morgan Freeman. They're like,
no, they're fear mongering.
They gave a specific date.
They're trying to get
said
views,
that, yeah. And I was like, why would you say that? It was just, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're fear mongering. They're trying to get views. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on Happy says Fort Knox memes are funny, showing people spray painting bricks with gold paint. Right.
They'll be busy doing that. They're gonna hire in some of them illegals to do that. Could you imagine that? Say, hey guys, before you go, do you mind if you spend a little time painting these guys? It would just be bad. Did you? Psycho Sid said nice shirt. Did you miss that?
Psycho Sid, nice shirt, George.
There it is. Being from the 51st state, Tabo was an experience I wasn't prepared for when first arriving at 5 a.m. at my wife's house home. Yeah, that would be rough. And now, in my opinion, that just the Tabo versus having the spray gun would be, especially for anybody that's not tiny. Like if you're a small Filipina that weighs 100 pounds, 120, or you have certain people, but when you start to get bigger as an expat, those damn toilets are low to the ground. And I'm like 6 foot tall. And so it's just for me being big and tall. That's just a shit, man. So I like the spray gun and I can reach my backside, but if I had to sit there and deal with the bucket and everything, and then you got the little scoops and everything, and I'm not trying to get no scoop up under my ass at 3 a.m.
What are the ones without even the tank?
Yeah,
a lot of them don't have the tank.
yeah, no, and they're just little narrow. No, then I got to go. People complain about us living here and trying to live cheap and stuff, but if I had to deal with just living like that, then I'd have to pass. I'm sorry. 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 I'm gonna cut out on your beer budget, your food budget, your pet budget. I'm leaving these pets behind. I'm moving on over to Clark and I'm gonna get me a sweet place. I ain't dealing with that at that point. Everything. Goodbye, pets. I'd be staring at them kittens. I'd toss them all out in the front yard. I got to go. Goodbye, kittens. Say goodbye to your kittens. You thinking about that?
No, it's not that.
You trying to picture my butt on that toilet?
No.
Trying to picture Clark? Trying to picture my butt on Clark?
Well, I already know what Clark looks like. It's not like it's.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we'll wrap this up. It's a Saturday. I got to feed George bacon. I've been promising him bacon. But as soon as this live goes off, I'm going to kick him out and those kittens. You and the kittens got to go right after this live. You want some bacon?
Shane G says, John Miranda, nothing wrong with washing your bum with soap and water over toilet paper. Let me ask you, if a bird crapped and landed on your hand, how would you clean it? There's your answer. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, there's nothing
you
wrong
just wash
with
it. I mean, it's not like
the
it's
spray
gonna.
guns help and everything.
Yeah.
So I just always tell people is sometimes you'll see the expats come here that have the ability to pay for decent places. Now, in the instant that their spouses, families, or that's where they build a house, or that's the way it is, then that's on them at that point. But I always say you don't have to be super uncomfortable either. I'm about as uncomfortable as I want to be right now. So in other words, I like the place. Our place is still like fenced in. We can still have our animals, got the AC set up. But if all of a sudden I couldn't have certain conditions or they raise the rent, I'd probably be up out of here for sure. So it's you have to be comfortable and you should be able to.
Oh no! Did she move one of them again? I think she did.
I think she got out.
No. Well, yeah, I think she moved one of them. Anyway.
Oh no, she's up to no
and
good hiding.
Angelo says bye.
Bye, guys.
Slick Rick says see you later. Jollibee time. Thanks for live streaming. Victor says. Hairwall says night all.
Look at her climbing the fence, babe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you so much, Ted, for being with us. Sarah, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, guys.
Scott and Isa were with us today too. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you all.
Oh my gosh, she's so crazy.
Tony Manning was with us today too. Blue, Jammer Travels, Nelson, White Samurai, Victor C. Thank you so much, guys. Pablo Chicano, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Curtis, thank you very much. Racer X was with us today too. Angelo, Earn Doggy Full, Ryan and Chew, Dan, Michael Taylor. Bye guys.
See you guys
Till
later.
next time.
And see you guys next time, or maybe sooner. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Buestos. Bye, Aaron.
Bye, Aaron.